Cinemassacre and Spike for the last day and the last video of Comic-Con for 2010. And here we are right in front of the comics. Yeah, it's actually what it all comes down to, right? I mean, it's actually calmer over here near where the comics are, so go figure. And just to add to all the different names I come up with for Comic-Con, why don't we just take that logo where it says Comic-Con and just make it comic, movies, video games, and everything else con. Yeah, split them up, because there's too many people. There's too many frickin' people here. You know, last night I was trying to get into Riff Tracks Live. I was like, there were 10 people in front of me, and they cut it off. Or like, you know, the room got to max capacity, we couldn't get in. 10 people in front of me, I couldn't get in. I was there like a good hour before. This morning, the Warner Brothers line, ooh boy, for Green Lantern, Sucker Punch, and Harry Potter, that brought out the crowd. That was the biggest line I've ever seen in my life. You could see people wrapping around the bay like the size of ants. It just went on forever, and supposedly lots of people were there for Harry Potter, and all they had was like one minor character out there. They showed like a 5-minute trailer or something. There was no Q&A. People were pissed. Yeah, it waited a long time. I don't blame them. So you know what the big problem with Comic-Con? It's really, it could be the best convention ever. It's just the fact that it's too crowded. So you're making it crowded. Stop coming, or else I rip your head off with my ass. Really, if when you come, just keep in mind that if you go to try and see the bigger things, that's what's going to happen. That's what you're going to have to deal with. If you go to a panel called How to Draw a Comic, you'll probably get into that. So go to stuff like that if you come to Comic-Con. The big stuff, you're going to like, at best, you might see 2 things in a day, and that is if they're in the same room or if they're spread out enough with the schedule. Because you have to take into account that everything you go into, there's just going to be, you need to give yourself a few hours before to get in. Hall H, we've always said, is the worst. Ballroom 20 is the second worst. So if you're going anywhere near Hall H or Ballroom 20, you better be ready. Oh man, I've been in this line for Rip Tracks for a little over an hour, and it started, they're at max capacity, not getting in. Nope, I am not getting in. And the worst part about it is I'm standing next to this jackass. Yeah. So last night when I couldn't get into the Riff Tracks, I went out to the Top Gun bar. Yeah, the Kansas City barbecue where they filmed the scene in Top Gun. They had a fire there a couple of years ago, unfortunately. Nobody was hurt, which was good, but they had a lot of Top Gun movie props in there that got lost to the fire. But the piano where Goose plays Great Balls of Fire was still there. So that's what I did on my only downtime here at Comic-Con. I did get into one more panel, and that was Ray Bradbury. Wow, he is a living legend. The man is like Yoda now. He's old enough and wise enough to be Yoda. That's the best way to describe it, really. He talked about colonizing Mars and stuff and all his predictions. I mean, the guy is like probably like the greatest science fiction writer who's alive today. He just turned 90, and he was really great. The guy never had an automobile license, but he drove the NASA Land Rover on Mars. When he went to NASA, they let him drive it, which is pretty cool. They gave him a little Mars driver's license thing. It was really a privilege to see him. Probably my favorite thing at Comic-Con, because, you know, it was cool to see the Expendables, see Stallone and Dolph Lundgren and everybody out there on the stage, but something about Ray Bradbury was just, like, it was a privilege, because, like, the guy was at the first Comic-Con 35 years ago. He said at the first Comic-Con there was about 300 people. It's changed a lot. Well, that's it. Cinemassacre signing out with Spike.com at Comic-Con 2010. Hope to see you around next year.